So now it's time to implement the photo side of things on our client application. And let's just go and take a look at our client application as it stands at the moment. And if I just refresh the page, what we can already see is that Bob now has his image in the navigation bar. And we've also got the images on our activities as well. Although it seems by adding this particular label, we've messed up the styling of the images inside the activity list item, so that's one thing to fix. And what we should also have is links so that we can get to a user's profile page, which we don't actually have yet. And if we take a look around at the various places where we could link to it, then we also need to set this up as well. So let's head back to VS Code and we'll start off pretty easily. We're just going to go to our activity list item, and all we're going to do is just add some margin to our image so that we don't chop off the bottom half of it, or the bottom part of it. So I'm just going to add some style to the image inside the header part of our activity list item. And all I'm going to do here is just say margin bottom and set it to 3 pixels. And I'll just reformat this and just head back and make sure this has resolved that particular problem. And now we can see our image is back to being a circle. And let's deal with the various links we have as well. So in our activities, where we've got our hosted by and then host display name, let's wrap this in a link. So I'll add the link that we get from React Router DOM, and we'll say to equals, and we'll add backticks / profile $, and then we're using host.username in this case. And we'll just cut our host.displayname and put it inside of our link and just reformat. And we've got an extra space here we don't need. And we can also just remove the space from here and just add the space inside our link instead. And let's make sure this is displaying okay. And we can see the link there for Bob, and it's going to go to profile / Bob. That's fine. Let's also deal with the one inside our navbar as well. So I'll just go back, open up the navbar. And what we want to do is look for the username in our drop-down. So where we've got our drop-down item as link to profile.username, let's change this to $ and user.username. And let's just check where else we need to add this as well. And inside our activity details page, we've also got the username there and also the username on the right hand side. The one for the attendees is already set, so we can just add one for our activity detailed header as well. And let's just go back and do that. And we'll open up activity detailed header, and we'll scroll down. And where we've got the hosted by, let's put this inside a link as well. And we'll say link to equals and backticks / profile $. And in this case, we're not even setting the actual display name of the user. So do we have what we need for this? And all we're bringing into this is our activity, and we'll need to get our activity host and populate that inside here so we've got easy access to it. So let's just go back to our activity list item, and we'll just do the same as we did here. We'll just copy this across so that we've got access to the host, which is going to be one of our attendees that has the flag is host set to true. And I'll just paste this inside my activity detailed header, and then we can use the host.username. And then I'll just copy or cut the strong tag, including Bob, and paste this inside there. And instead of Bob, we just want to set this to user dot, or host in this case, .displayname. And if we just reformat this and just go and check how this looks, then fine, Bob's in a different color. We could restyle that if we want to change it to white, but I'm just going to leave that the way it is. So now we've got our links to go to our profile. Currently we don't have a component for this. So let's change that, and what we'll do, I'll just clean up these windows, and inside the client app, inside the source and features, let's add another new folder for another new feature called profiles. And inside here, I'm just going to create a new file and call it profilepage.tsx. And I'll just create the structure for this component. And all I'll do at the moment is just have profile page inside a h1 tag. And let's go and add a root for this in our app components. So I'll open up app.tsx and let's scroll down to our roots and we'll just add an additional root, and this is going to go to profile/:username, and the component will be our profile page. And it doesn't look like that imported successfully and I can't see it in the list, so let's try that again. And that looks like it's probably worked, and I can see the import for our profile page. And we've still got a root for our login, which we don't actually need anymore, so I'm just going to remove this from the list. And let's just go back and make sure that we can click on our links to get to our profile page. And I'll just click on this one, and great, we go to our empty profile page. So nothing particularly challenging in this particular part. But what we'll take a look at next is getting the structure for our profile page, because this is where we're going to display the information about the user as well as display their photos, and we'll start to take a look at that next.